So here we are, last morning that I've got the 125 Duke before I pick up my new bike. And what will that be? Well, you'll have to find out. Has to be said, I am a big fan of the Duke 125. It's a nice bike. It does have some disadvantages. Mostly it's expensive as hell. But you know, it's got the full 15 brake. So if you're big like me and you're doing reasonable distances, you need something that's got a bit of oomph behind it. So yeah, the Duke 125 is a perfect first bike for going around town in. I highly recommend it if you can afford it. When I first learned, oh thanks mate, that was great. Nice main beam action there. When I first learned on a did the CBT on a 125, and it was terrible. They had Honda GC 125, I think it was. Anyhow, I hated it. The riding position was so cramped. Really nasty. Did not enjoy. I loved the riding. I just didn't like the bike. But you know, I'm 6'2", which isn't overly tall, but it's kind of outsized for a 125. So yeah, the Duke was the only bike that in the showroom that I could find comfortable just sitting on, just getting on and sitting. So it didn't bode well for the others for riding at any length of time, and that was a tractor full of pig shit, and it was quite stinky. So yeah, Duke 125, the only bike in the shop that felt even remotely comfortable to sit on, and that was just walking up and literally plonking my arse on it. All the others felt horrible. Which, as I said, didn't bode well for a 45-minute ride into work. And the other problem is, of course, that you can't test drive a 125 because without a full license, they just won't insure you for it. So it really is it's just a crapshoot. There's absolutely no idea what kind of bike you're going to get. You just can't turn the engine on. You know, it's absolutely insane. And then when I got the new bike, I went, I have my full license. Can I have a test drive? Ah, well, sir. Only if you got a full license for a year. I couldn't believe it. Absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, our insurance only covers test drives if you've been riding on a full license for at least 1 year. Really? Well, that's absolutely useless. So not only do you have to guess about your first bike, you then have to guess about your second bike, unless you're prepared to ride the 125 for a full year. And this is where we get onto the downsides of the Duke 125, because it's very expensive if I drop it. If I accidentally come up to a junction in the winter, put my foot down, it hits some ice or leaves and skids out from under me, and I just gently put this bike on the ground, that's several £100 worth of plastic knackered right there. So new bike is not the case. It's like £60 worth of plastic for all the plastics on the entire bike, which is a lot better. The other thing, of course, is that it's a new bike, and new bikes are so expensive to maintain because they're under manufacturer's warranty and they have to be repaired at an authorised dealer. It's as simple as that. If you want to maintain their service record and indeed maintain the warranty, so that's not cheap at all. Next up, for shits and giggles, is the fact that it's a new bike, and so when you come to sell it, depreciation is massive. I've owned this bike for 5 months, and the people who sold me it offered me £1,000 less in part exchange, and they would not shift on that at all, and they absolutely wouldn't shift and give me any less for the bike I was buying, because apparently, you know, they're quite popular, they fly off the shelves, which I know to be absolute bollocks, as I've seen similar bikes in there and they've been there for months. And also, it's coming up, you know, it's autumn, it's approaching winter. People are not buying bikes, so a bit flying pants on par there, but you know, they know you got by the short and curlies, they know that you have to get a bike from them because just the best value you're going to get in part exchange. Come on, I won't miss having to do this, dropping down 2 gears just to get up the frickin' hill at a reasonable speed.